போர்ட் நம்பர் 1 தான் வந்து டிஹெச்சிபி ரன் ஆகுது. அதனால we change this cloud that it பண்ணிடலாம். That will be run on DNS3. Okay, and connect the port 1 to the Ethernet port, and let me start all the devices first, and go to the console of FortiGate firewall. Yeah, I will start it. Yeah, it is starting. Let me complete some other settings. If I connect to the port number 2 to the virtual PC, and then port number 3 is connected on our NATed interface. It will help us to reach the internet. Okay. Still it is loading. Yeah, now it is completed. The system is rebooting and restarting again. Yeah, this is the first time we are going to log in this device, so the username is admin, and there is no password. Now we have to set the new password. Just I'm giving 123 and 123 the confirm password. Okay, right. And there is one command to check the IP address which was assigned in this interface. That is diagnose IP address list. Okay, yeah, and here you can see that this is the DHCP IP address which is getting from this cloud in the interface port number 1, because here the port number 1 it is running the DHCP. By default in port number 1 DHCP will be there, and I just want to check whether this IP is reachable from my PC or not. So let me go to this here and try to ping the 35. Yeah, now it is reachable. Okay, so then if I trying to browse this IP, then I can able to reach this firewall through the web. Okay, yeah, I think yeah it is reachable. So admin is the username and pass. One second. Admin is the username and password is 123, which was we are given recently. And okay, so initially it is asking us to specify the host name. If you want to set, then you can begin, otherwise you can skip this one also. If I just want to change the name, it is as FortiGate 1, otherwise it will be asking again and again. And if you want to change the password or a dashboard setup, then you can, otherwise you can do later. Okay, so just skip this advertisement. This is for something about the latest version. Okay, so this is the dashboard of FortiGate firewall, and here you can see the system informations and all. This is the host name, and this is the serial number of this firmware for this device, and this is the firmware. It's version 7, and this is mode which is running and the NAT mode, and this is the current time of the system, and today is 14 April 2023. Yeah, and the time is correctly working actually, and this is the uptime, and some other WAN IP. If you configure, then here the IP will be displayed here, and here you can see the license information, but here as of now we are not having any license. We have only the evaluation license, that also will be expired soon, on 13 this month, the 13th, the evaluation license will be expired. From this evaluation license, we cannot configure this device, what we say, that is called VDOM. So VDOM is nothing but, if you want to segregate the device, virtually we can segregate this device into 2 to 3 firewall. It's like a VLAN in switches, or what we say, virtual route forwarding, VRF in the router. So this for a Cisco router, VRF is something, but it is managing the separate routing table, and for the each customers, right? So for this case, if we configure this router into the two separate parts, I mean virtually we can configure as a two different firewall. For example, if you are creating a VDOM 1 and VDOM 2, in this VDOM 1 we can assign the WAN interface 1 and LAN interface 1. So the WAN interface 1 and LAN interface 1 only available in the VDOM 1, and that will be working as a different firewall. Okay, so for customer second customer, we can assign a second VLAN interface and a second LAN interface. So in that firewall you can see that there are two interface, one is WAN 2 and LAN 2. So you have to enable the policy separately for those customer and this customer in the separate VDOM, but we cannot configure the VDOM in the evaluation license, but it can be done through the original license. If you have a original license for FortiGate firewall, then you can configure the VDOM configurations actually. So that VDOM is done through the CLI. We have to enable the VDOM through the CLI. Then you can see here there are so many the VDOM names and all. The first one is root, and then we can create the multiple VDOM under the root. Okay, so now we cannot do that actually, and here you can see that how many sessions are there, CPU utilizations, memory, and other things also. This is something related to the FortiGate cloud, and we are not going to configure the FortiGate cloud and all right now. And if you want to customize things, then you can go here and you can add some other widgets also, that is given by, that is predefined and given by the FortiGate inbuilt setup. If you want to add a memory or CPU and memory usage is already there, or if you want to add a device inventory, or if you want to monitor the THCP, then you can monitor here. If you can add here and you can monitor here. For example, if you added the THCP, then THCP is also available. See, here you can see that. So as of now we are not configured any THCP in these devices. So, and here are the some other options. Here you can see those routes and THCP and SD-WAN configurations. If you configure any IPsec tunnel, and these are the informations you can see here. This is the summary informations in this that should be available in this dashboard. And let me go to the configuration. Actually, here we are connected the port number 1 into the cloud actually. Port number 2 that is connected, and this PC number 2. So here I am going to configure 10.1.0.0/24 network. Okay, and let me duplicate this one. and here we are going to this network will be 10 dot. No, here we are connected to the NAT interface, right? Then let me delete this one. I am going to enable the TCP on this port number 3. Okay, so let me go there, and here this is port number 2. I'm going to edit this port number 2, and this will be my LAN network. So the alias name will be the LAN. You can configure your own, it's up to you. And here I am not going to map any VRF ID, just leave this, and this is the role, and this is just I am going to assign this role, whether this is our LAN or WAN interface or our DMZ zone. This is a LAN for me, and here this is the IP address 10.1.0.100, and this is /24 IP, and actually here I am not going to allow anything. Let me show something for you. This is for the administrative access. If you are not enable the any access until if you are not enable the access until that you are not getting, you are unable to access this device through this interface and this IP address, and this IP address also is not replying anything for this any services actually. So let me give OK. I think here it is not taking the mask. Let me configure the mask 255.255.255.0. Okay, yeah, now I have assigned the IP address, and let me go here. Okay, let me close other windows. Okay. And this is the PC. We go to the console of this PC. Yeah, here. So the IP address is 10.1.0.1, and subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, and then 10.0.0.100 is the gateway. So that IP should be in the small letter. It's IP. Oh, sorry, this gateway I have misconfigured. Yeah, now it is checking for the duplicate by sending the what we say that is a gratuitous arc. Okay, that will help us to identify whether this IP is assigned in somewhere else in the same broadcasting domain. If it is not there, then the PC will take that IP address. So now that PC got the same IP address we are assigned. So let me check that. I'm just trying to ping 10.1.0.1. This is the self IP address of this PC. Yeah, we are getting the response. And if I trying to ping this 100, that is configured on this firewall, and this is directly connected network also, but I am not getting the response from the firewall. Okay, because we are not allowed the services. Administratively we are denied all the services for this interface. Okay. If I go there in this interface, actually port number 2, right, this is the LAN port number. Here we are not enabled the any access for this actually. So let me go and edit here. For this administrative access, I am just allowing the ping. Okay, if I allowed the ping, then I can able to reach this one. Okay, yeah, now it is reachable. Okay, so in this firewall, whenever you are configuring the interface, what are the services you have allowed, then that only you can able to reach actually. So through the port number 1, through the IP address of 192.168.29.35, we already, it is by default the ping HTTPS, SSH, HTTP and some other access also is allowed. Here you can see that the HTTP access is already allowed. Okay, so that's why we are able to reach this router through this IP address in this web. Otherwise we are not able to access this actually. Okay, so this is what we already this is what we are configured right now, and let me go to the configure the port number 3 and this is alias, this is for our internet access for something. This is okay, it's maybe it's for internet, and this is for something that I am saying this role. I am going to assign this WAN role for this case actually through the port number 3, and here I am going to run the DHCP. Okay, and I'm going to allow ping HTTPS and these things only I'm going to allow. Remaining, if you want to command anything, then you can. Right now I'm not going to do any command actually here. And let me check, is there any IP address I'm getting here? We go to this LI, diagnose IP address list. So this is the IP address which we are getting through the port number 3. Okay, so this is the IP address we are getting through the DHCP, and let me check. I am able to ping, execute execute ping 8.8.8.8. yeah, I am able to ping 8.8.8, and let me check where I am getting the interface. Okay, I actually it should be reached through the NATed interface, that is it should be exit on port number 3. Okay, execute trace route 8.8.8.8. okay, I think that is executed on this port number 8. okay, sorry, this is 192.168.29.1. actually the internet is getting from our port number 3. okay, so here, yeah, through this interface port number, sorry, so port number 1, 29.1, right? The first IP is, it is going through the, sorry, execute trace route 8.8.8.8. so the first IP address is 69.29. okay, 192.69.29.1. so 29.1, it is exiting through the port number 1. here we are getting the internet access actually. So let me try, am I able to get the internet through the PC? so from this PC I am trying to reach the internet. so let me ping this 8.8.8.8. okay, so here I am not able to connect to the internet because we are not configure any routing for this segment. We are not NATed and enable the routing for this segment actually to reach the internet. So let me trace route. Here I think trace route command is not working here. Trace is there. Trace. 8.8.8.8. I think it should go through the gateway. After that it is not reachable anywhere. Okay. Okay, right. So what we have to configure, the segment should reach the internet. Let me show something here. So we have to enable the route. So this is here you can see that there are no routing configuration is there. So I am just to go and going to create a new route. The destination should be anywhere, and then the gateway address should be 192.168 dot 29.1. okay, and this is the interface. This is the where the traffic should be exit from this router. Actually, if I assigning this IP, by default it will take in the port number 1, because this segment is assigned on this port number 1. Okay, so this is the administrative distance. If you want to change the AD value, then you can change it. Okay, so by default 10 is the AD value for the FortiGate firewall. For Cisco, the static route should, I think it's a 1, AD value is 1, but in the FortiGate firewall the AD value, by default AD value is 10. If you want to change it, then you can change here. Okay, now what I said in this rule, in this static route is, if anything, if it is come, if anything is the destination, then you should forward to this gateway. So this is the meaning of this static route. So don't worry about the destination. What are the if anyone want to reach any destination, then you can send through the port number 1. So this is the static route which we are created, and let me try again. I think still it will be not reachable, because see here, if you go and policy and object, and this is the firewall policy. Here there are any predefined policy is there, except this implicit policy, denied policy. So by default there is only one policy. It is denying all the traffic to all the destinations. Okay, if you want to enable the traffic, then you have to configure the policy. So let me go and create a new policy, and this is the name. You can give any name. So for this case I am going to allow the traffic from LAN to internet. Okay, so this is the incoming traffic, that is from the port number. This is the LAN interface, right? So this is the LAN interface. Then outgoing interface is port number 1, where we have a internet access. I think this is we are misconfigured. Actually the internet is connected on port number 1. Okay, the source, here you can add any specific source of IP address, that's where which we can enable. We are going to allow the internet access, but for this case I am going to allow all. If you want to specify any particular source, then you can create here. Okay, so you can go and add IP address and other things also here, and if you created with some other name, then that will be available here, available in this list. Then you can select that one also, but for this case I am going to allow all the sources. Okay, here I am going to allow all, and the destination is also all destination, and here you can schedule the time where you have, which time they can they can able to access. If you want to restrict the time, then you can enable the services on the particular time. For example, if the users are available in the daytime, they are not, then you can enable the access only for the daytime, or you can enable the particular days for Monday to Friday, or Sunday to Thursday. So these all are the things you can configure here, but now I am going to allow always, and here you can allow the services actually. What are the services you are going to allow? Is for TFTP, POP3 or SMTP. These all are for the mail, and these all are the for network services, and so many predefined services is there. You can select here also, or other things. If you want to create anything specifically, then you can go here and you can create a service or service group, everything, and you can add out those groups also here. But now I am going to allow all the services. So just I am simply choosing all, and I just enable the NAT should be enabled for this actually. I'm just enabling the NAT, and I just click OK. So now you can see that policy, the allow policy is placed before the implicit in top of the implicit deny. So whenever the traffic is came here, and it should check this firewall policy list actually, and if there is a match, then it will be executed. If there is no match, then it will check the next policy. Here we have a two policy only. Okay, so first policy, it will check the first policy. If anything comes from the LAN interface, and then it will be forwarded to the port number 1. So the people who is connected through the LAN, they can able to access the internet. If anyone is trying to connect the internet from the port number 3, then here there is no policy to allow access for the internet for those people who is connecting on the interface port number 3, right? So the traffic is when it is coming here, then it will check the first rule. This is for the LAN port number 2. So then it will check this policy. So what it is a implicit deny policy, so it will deny all the traffic. So if you want to allow the traffic for the customer who is connecting on port number 3, then you have to create another new policy also here. Okay. So here is the options. Here see, so here is some option is there. You can track down and up also, but here we have only one policy, so that's why I can't able to move anywhere. I can't able to show you. And let me check now. Am I able to connect the internet? Yes, now I am able to connect the internet. Okay, so whenever actually this policy will be working like a access list. Okay, so whenever you are creating the allow access policy, or if you are deny anything, then you have to check the order of this policy. For example, if you write any deny policy before allowing before this one, then all the topics will be dropped actually, right? இப்போ வந்துட்டு ஜென்ரலாகவே வந்து நீங்கள் இந்த டினை பாலிசி ஏதாவது எழுதுறீங்க அப்படின்னா யூ ஷுட் பி கேர்ஃபுல்லி note down this issue. Actually this is a serious issue. Whenever you are deny anything, or if you want to allow anything, then you have to check this policy actually. Here I am allowing all the traffic, right? So let me create another one policy here. This is for deny internet. So incoming port number 1, incoming is port number 2, outgoing is port number 1, sources is all sources, and destination is create a new address. So its name is something for deny. Subnet is, I think, that is 8.8.8.8. and 255.255.255.255 interface is, I think that is coming from the port number 2. That is, I think, any, okay. Okay, so the destination is denied and services is hard, and here I am going to deny this one. Okay, so I have created a one deny policy. Okay, so I just track and place this deny policy in the first step. Okay, இப்போ வந்துட்டு if I am trying to ping 8.8.8, it is getting denied, right? ஸோ நான் ஃபஸ்ட்டு வந்து டினை பாலிசி வந்துட்டு நான் மேலே வந்து ப்ளேஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். ஸோ தட்ஸ் வை வென் எவர் இட் இஸ் கம்மிங் ஹியர் அண்ட் வி ஆல்ரெடி டினை டு ரீச் த 8.8.8.8. I think we have to give the DNS. Okay, IP DNS 1.1.1.1. Yeah, now it is reachable. Okay, so Google is reachable, but if I trying to ping 8.8.8, that is not reachable because 8.8 we are denied the 8.8 is we are denied here. Okay, but if I misplace this policy, see here, actually I am denied, but before the denied policy here there is a one policy that is allow everything. Okay, so if I trying to ping, even if I deny, if I have a deny policy, I am able to reach the 8.8.8 because I misplaced the policy. Actually here I allow everything, then I was denied. First it is come and check the first policy, here I allowed, then it will allow the permission to reach the site. Hereafter it will not check any other policy. So that's why whenever I create a deny policy, that should be placed on top. Okay, if I allow on the top, then I won't reachable the 8.8.8, but I can reach some other things also, other site actually. If I try to ping the DNS 1.1.1, I can able to reach. If I trying to ping to reach the google.com, sorry, ping google.com, yeah, now I am able to reach, right? I am able to reach the google.com, I am able to reach the Gmail. So rest of the things I can able to reach except the 8.8.8, right? So this is how to configure the firewall in the basic method, how we have to configure the IP address and how where we have to enable the root. Even if we are enable the root, we cannot access anything until we are creating the access policy, firewall policy. So I hope you know how to configure the firewall policy, how to assign the IP address on the interface, and then how to enable the root and all. Okay, if possible I will post it on how to create a IPsec tunnel and all in upcoming videos.